Hi, I'm Melody Go. I'm a junior software developer at Asus Systems Philippines Limited. So, for me, presenting oneself has three parts to it. The first part being knowing yourself. So, just like when you're presenting anything else, you have to be knowledgeable with the topic. The first thing you have to do is know what you're presenting, which is you. I like to ask myself, or you can ask yourself the following questions. One, what are your strengths and weaknesses? So this way you can know what to highlight and how you can improve on your weaknesses. Then second, what are your goals and values? So what you want to achieve by presenting yourself, and what are the values you stand for? And third, what are you passionate about? So this includes your hobbies, your interests, and anything else that you want to share about yourself. You're not limited to these questions. You may add or remove some, but just make sure to know yourself before you present yourself. And then second would be creating an outline. So again, just like in any other presentation, it's good to have an outline so that you don't miss out important details and your thoughts are more organized. So I like to have a rough draft of how I want to introduce or present myself to others. This will help you organize your thoughts and appear more confident in front of a crowd. And then lastly, when you're presenting, an effective way to present yourself is through confidence and body language. So I like to keep an open body language when I'm talking to others and when I'm presenting myself so that you leave a better impact onto others. Then next, let's talk about how to create an effective resume. The purpose of a resume is to provide recruiters with a brief overview of the candidate's work history. A good resume should be targeted at a specific job and 1 to 2 pages long. So compared to a CV, a resume is usually shorter and it doesn't contain everything. It only contains the relevant information for a specific job. So let's talk about the anatomy of a resume. So I listed here some basic parts of the resume. So number one is the basic information. So here we usually put our name and our primary contact info. You have the option to add more information about yourself, but these two are the most important. And do make sure that your contact information is something professional. For example, when you're giving your email, make sure your email address is something that sounds professional. And then the next part would be your education. So if you're still in college, you can put your high school education as well as your college education here. But if you're applying for a job and you've already graduated college, it's better to just put your college education. So just make sure to put your school name, the degrees you earned, and the month and the year you graduated. If you haven't graduated yet, you can put the year you started, then until present. And then last would be experience and skills. So this can be separated into two parts, but for this video, I'll just discuss it together. So for experience and skills, first for skills, you can put your hard skills such as programming skills, problem solving skills, critical thinking skills under hard skills. And then for soft skills, you can put things like leadership skills, communication skills, time management skills. And then for experience naman, you can put the relevant positions. And then for your relevant positions, you can put the duration and a short description of your position. So for the short description, you can put something like what impact you left with that position, as well as a scale on like a measurement of your success in that position. And then before we end, I want to give some resume tips. So the first tip is to keep it short. Around 1 to 2 pages is good for a resume. This is because recruiters usually go through a lot of resumes. So having a really long resume isn't such a good idea, since most recruiters would just skim through the pages and they would want to see a resume that they can look through in just one glance. So having like everything in one page would be really good for the recruiters. And then second tip would be to highlight your relevant skills and experiences. So for example, you're applying for a job that requires Java skills, then you can highlight your skills in Java as well as some experiences that you have with Java. For experiences, if you don't have example org experiences, You can also put experiences with like machine projects and such. That way, the recruiter also has an idea on what projects you've worked on. And then next would be to add meaningful descriptions to your experiences or skills. So I talked about this a little a while ago when I said to add a short description with your relevant position. So it helps to add description of like what was your work like, what did you handle, what was the impact this left, and cite a measurement of your success under that position. And then next step would be quality over quantity. Focus on the ones that are more relevant to the job description rather than bombarding the recruiter with so many information. And then next would be don't lie about your credentials. So just put who you really are. That way, aligned kayo on what to expect and kung saan ka bagay na position. And then last tip would be to maximize the certification. So nowadays, there are a lot of free certifications you can get online. So meron yung mga Azure certifications, Google certifications. So if you have certifications, make sure to include them in your resume, lalo na if it's relevant to the job that you're applying for. And that's all the tips that I have. Thank you for listening, and I hope this helps you with your resume writing.